Hey guys, Chaps here. I wanted to take some time and make a video discussing one of my favorite aspects of Gears 4, Horde mode. I've always enjoyed Horde, but normally I just did 1 to 2 player co-op with Schwartz back in the Gears 2 days. Near the end of the Gears 3 era, I discovered the insane Horde group on the Epic forums. That's where I really started to love the team aspect and tackling the no-fail 1 to 50s and going for the high scores and stuff. In this video, I wanted to take some time and discuss the various aspects of the new Horde mode. I'm going to hit on a few of the overview points and talk about what I really enjoyed. I'm also going to hit on a couple things that I would have liked to see changed. There honestly isn't that much bad to talk about. Overall, this mode was really well done, and I'm really enjoying playing it. To start off, I'm going to go over a bit of the strategy that my team normally uses when we're playing. The strategy has a huge impact on your experience, so I feel it's important to throw out there. Traditionally, the squad consists of me, Schwartz, Jess, Dodger, and Tac-Com. And no, Tac-Com has no affiliation with the channel, he's just got an awesome name. We're normally going to run 1 engineer and 1 scout. The remaining 3 are going to be some combination of heavy, soldier, and sniper, with more emphasis on the heavy normally. We're going to end up building our manned turrets as quickly as possible. We're going to end with the 4 turrets fully upgraded, and the rest of our money is just going to be going into fences and some sentries, both the shock and the kinetic type. We really just get those turrets as quickly as possible, and then start buying all those other things just to help level up our fabricator to get it to level 4. Everyone besides the engineer is pretty much just going to be staying on the turrets until there's 5 enemies left. At this point, we're essentially just going to get off and try and down the last few enemies while the scout runs around trying to collect all the energy across the map. Throughout all of this, though, the engineer is pretty much just sitting there repairing stuff. This is just a pretty brief overview of the strategy that our team uses, and it works out pretty well for us. If you guys want a more in-depth video discussing our strategy and what we do, just let me know in the comments below or let me know on Twitter, and I'll throw something together and make a really nice Horde strategy guide for you. Alrighty then, now that we've given you some background on our strategy, let's talk about some of the overall mechanics. There's so many great aspects and just a couple things I'd like to see changed, so let's take a look at some of these. First off, let's talk about the enemies. Something that stands out to almost anyone right away is the repetition. This is somewhat nice, it's nice and predictable, and you know what enemies you're going to be getting, but it tends to get boring after a while. I would love to see a more randomized wave set every once in a while. Even if it's just 2 variations per wave, it would make a huge difference. Next up is a pretty small point. It's why aren't there any explosive trackers in Horde? It seems a bit strange that they aren't seen anywhere other than campaign. Overall though, the enemy variety is pretty nice, especially for the start of a new trilogy. The Scions really change up what you need to focus on. The drop shots and boom shots make a huge difference, so you really need to get those guys out right away. Guardians were an excellent addition in my opinion, and the trackers were a great replacement for the tickers. They really keep you on edge and ensure that you have a nice fence and sentry setup. The boss waves are just what you'd expect from Gears 3. I'm sort of disappointed in the lack of variety though. It's understandable, being that there aren't that many bosses in the game, but it would have been nice to see some more original ideas. Throw in the Speaker, essentially a Scion with more health. Give us a large DR1, or one of those giant bots we used at the end of the campaign to fight. Hell, even give us a giant Guardian with a lot of health, or give us a large group of regular Guardians. Anything to increase the variety would have been really nice. These are just a few nitpicky things about the enemy variety, but overall I think they did a pretty good job on this. Next up, let's look at a few mechanics. The Fabricator system's great. The central location to build items, get revives, manage money, and it acts as a permanent cover location. It's very well done. There's 3 aspects about the Fabricator that I'd like to see changed though. First, the fortification selection. It would have been nice to see a buy lower level fortifications option. For example, if I have a level 4 Fabricator, it would have been nice to either press A to purchase the fortification, like we do now, or maybe press X, or some button, in order to bring up the drop-down menu to select a lower level version. The reason it would be nice to buy one of these lower level fortifications is maybe you don't have the money to spend on a full fence for the level you're on. Maybe you just want a level 2 fence. Or hey, even maybe the level 2 fences are really good. Maybe you just want a level 2 fence. Maybe you're on level 4 Fabricator and you don't need a laser fence, you just want that level 2 fence. It would be nice to be able to buy that. The next change is I wish that the Fabricator wouldn't auto-upgrade fortifications when you pass over the upgrade barrier. For example, let's say a turret costs 10k to build at level 2 and it costs 15k to build at level 3. Imagine you're only 1k away from leveling up your Fabricator. If you have 11k in the bank and you build a level 2 turret, it's going to build that level 2 turret for you, and you're going to have about 1k left over. If you have 16k in the bank though, and you build that level 2 turret, it's going to build it, and then it's going to auto-upgrade to level 3, costing you that extra 5 grand, and then you're going to end with a level 3 turret and 1k left in the bank. I don't really like this because it limits what we're upgrading and when. It would have been nice if they just bought the level 2 one for us and let us upgrade it ourselves. The last thing that I'd like to see changed on the Fabricator system is the way in which you level it up. Currently, your Fabricator is only upgraded by spending money at the Fabricator. It's a nice system, but there's just one small change that I want to see to it. I'd propose that upgrades you make to the existing fortifications also count towards the upgrade. I see no reason that teams should be punished by not allowing Fabricator upgrades when we're just keeping our fortifications alive. If we're keeping them alive and we're upgrading them, why can't that upgrade money go towards leveling up our Fabricator? So as I described earlier, for the most part my team waits until there's only about 5 enemies left before we have our scout run out and grab all the energy. A big problem we have with this though are the sentries and fences. Particularly on the later waves, the fences and sentries love to kill these last few guys for us, which sometimes leaves money out there on the field. A strategy that we sometimes use is to pick up fences and sentries or turn the sentries around so that they can't see the enemies. After many runs of doing this, an idea popped into my head. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just walk up to a sentry and press X or something to deactivate it? This would allow us to keep them in the position we want, but turn them off so they don't shoot enemies that we don't want them to shoot. This would also be really nice for early waves in this set, where we don't want them to shoot because it just wastes ammo and energy. I feel like this is a change that could very easily be implemented. I don't feel like they would have to do too much testing with this system, and I'd love to see the Coalition implement something like this. As I've said many times over the past month or so, I'm extremely happy with this mode. This is by far where I've been spending most of my time in Gears 4, and I look forward to spending many more hours in it, or more likely days or weeks of playtime. This video, along with some of the others coming soon, discuss some of the aspects that I'd like to see changed. Some of these are probably possible, like that last one talking about the sentries, and others are probably not feasible for them to change. But either way, I can't wait to see what the Coalition has in store in the future. And that is going to bring us to the end of this video. This is just the first video in a 3-part mini-series. The next 2 videos I'm going to be discussing the classes and give some of my feedback on them. Be sure to check those out. They're probably going to be coming out in the coming week or so. As always, if you like the video, give it a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and subscribe to keep up to date with our content. And until next time, thanks for watching.